Lots of people have been asking, if you're self-employed, can you deduct clothes from your taxes? Usually not, but there are some cases when you can. What is up, guys? My name is Tyra, and if you are a small business owner, self-employed, or a gig worker, welcome to Keeper Tax, your one-stop shop for all things 1099 taxes. Here on this channel, we create resources for freelancers, independent contractors, gig workers, and anyone else who files or should be filing business taxes. Welcome back to Tax Myths, where I debunk random tax rules that you may have heard out here in these streets. The myths that we have been discussing in this segment have been plaguing gig workers and freelancers forever. And honestly, y'all, they are just so confusing. But as you know, I am here to give you the tax content you need to set yourself up for success. So in today's video, we'll be diving into the world, or should I say closet, of writing off your work clothes. So there are a few instances where you can actually write off your work clothing. Did you know that celebrities can deduct the cost of their Met Gala outfits? Remember Cardi B's red gown with the, the headpiece thing going on in 2019? That was a write-off, y'all. Now, celebrities going to events like this are eligible to fully deduct the cost of the clothes that they wear there, but why? Because the IRS allows certain items of clothing to be written off as a business expense, depending on how they're being used. So there are two requirements that these clothes need to meet for you to be able to deduct them. Number one, you have to wear it for work. And number two, you can only wear it for work. Seems simple, right? So if you're having trouble determining if it's something you can only wear for work, ask yourself these three questions. Are the clothes required for your job? Are the clothes distinctive or protective? Would you look weird wearing them outside of work? If the answer to these questions are yes, then they are more than likely eligible for a write-off. So let's dive a little bit deeper into the rules that the clothes can only be worn for work. Don't try to write off things like suits or a black t-shirt and khakis, because they can most definitely be worn outside of work. But let's say that the black t-shirt had your job's logo on them, like this here, then it would be deductible. So if you wanted to write off those new sweatshirts you bought for a photo shoot, make sure there is a logo or business branding on them before you try to deduct that expense. And one final rule to note, you can only write off clothes that you need for your 1099 work. If you need to buy special clothes for a W-2 job as well, you either have to swallow that cost or you have to ask your employer to reimburse you. Some examples of clothing you would be able to write off are scrubs, a hard hat if you are a construction worker, or even costumes to wear to an audition if you are an actor or a performer. Now, there are two other expenses associated with clothing that can also be deductible, and that would be your laundry or your cleaning bill and rented clothing. You can write off your dry cleaning. Say you have some deductible clothes. If they are dry clean only, you can also deduct that expense too. But remember, you can only write off the dry cleaning bill if the clothing meets the eligibility requirements set by the IRS that I mentioned earlier. Let's say you're on a valid business trip. Any expenses for laundry or dry cleaning incurred while you're on your trip are also deductible. If you're interested in learning more about write-offs from business travel, we also have a video about that in our Tax University series. And keep in mind, these expenses also have to be what the IRS calls ordinary and necessary expenses. That means if your clothing is machine washable, don't try to go and get it dry cleaned. That's bad juju, and if you were to get audited, you need to prove that this expense was necessary. You can also write off rented clothing, and things like costumes, wigs, or even makeup, skincare products, and hair care are deductible if suitable for professional use only. So if you have to buy uniforms for work like scrubs, you can also use Keeper Tax's deduction tracker to automatically monitor your purchases for those expenses and make sure you get the tax write-offs you deserve. If you guys learned something today, write it down in the comments your favorite takeaway from today's episode. And also let me know if you have any questions about anything I mentioned in today's video. And also let me know in the comments if you've heard any kind of tax myths that you're not sure if they're true. That is all that I have for you guys today. If you would like more easy to digest tax content, make sure you give this video a like, and if you have not already subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit that big red subscribe button down below and make sure your notifications are on so you can get all of the alerts anytime we post any new tax related content. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.